Hello, welcome to my presentation on Renaissance era sugar cakes by Diana Cervantes. Now, where did the cookies come from? The first sweet cookies appeared in the 17th century when sugar was first refined. Sugar and confections were first spread throughout. They were traded throughout the West and in Europe. Now, let's go to the recipe's background. The recipe was researched by an ARTH cookbook. When looking at her website, I see that she made a lot of research to make sure she interpreted the recipe that was originally in another language. The original recipe was in Middle Persian and recognized the cookies as cakes, which today is referred to as cookies. As the author mentions, many early cookies were cooked in a two-stage process, which included baking gently, and then drying in an oven or boiling and then baking. Quote by an ARTH cookbook. For the ingredients, I used 6 ounces of unsalted butter, 1 egg yolk, 1 tablespoon of sweet sherry, which is a cooking wine, 1 tablespoon of cream, extra sugar for decoration, parchment paper, 1/2 pound of flour, 1/2 teaspoon of ground cloves, 1/4 teaspoon fresh grated nutmeg, 1 pinch of saffron, and 1/4 pound of sugar. All of this I found at Walmart. And for my project, I find this as the cultural significance. Renaissance cookies were more than just treats back then. They were the expressions of artistry and symbols of cultural sophistication. They were often prepared for special occasions and celebrations, reflecting the host's wealth and culinary skills. So in my project, I will be doing my best to remake this recipe. Now I will go on to my pictures. Here's the flour that I used. This is the organic nutmeg, ground cloves, granulated sugar, which I use as decoration and in the recipe. Here I have the flour, and I believe I mixed in the sugar already with the nutmeg, and yes. Here we are mixing it all up. As the recipe says, we have to finely pound it, but I really did not want to finely pound it, so I just gave it a little whisk. Now here we have butter in it, and which makes it a little sandy texture, which the recipe said that they did. And here we're on to our wet ingredients, as we use the sweet sherry cooking wine. Here at first I kind of like minced or pounded the saffron, which it was like a pinch of it, and then I put the cooking wine and let it soak in for a little bit. Here is what the saffron looks like. Now here I put only the yolk of the egg and mixed it in with the saffron and the sherry. And here I have the cream, which I will add in the wet ingredients as well, and we whisk it all together. Now the recipe did not say that we needed some, but I added some Mexican vanilla extract just as a part to make it my own, just a little bit, since I am Mexican American. Now here we pounded it into a very fine little circle, make sure all the ingredients were mashed together, wet and dry. And we started creating these little ball shapes and dipped them into sugar. Now here they are. We have all of these on the tray, and we had a little bit of extra. So here we have our 2 little, I guess bigger versions of the cookies. Now we put them in the oven for, I believe, 350 degrees, and we put them in for about 25 minutes because we wanted to get that little golden look. Now here they all are all baked, and overall it was very tasty. It did have some Renaissance-y taste. I believe it was the nutmeg. It was just a tad bit overpowering, but it was really good. I gave some to my family, and my brother ate like 8. So I believe that recipe was a great one. Thank you for listening to my project.